is breaking news.
And good evening once again. I'm Calvin Hughes.
And I'm Lori Jennings. You are looking live at a peaceful protest in downtown Miami that is moving north along Biscayne Boulevard, which is closed, and it is beginning to moving now onto the MacArthur Causeway.
Our Andrew Perez is following this movement every step of the way, and let's check in now with him live now, following those protesters for us. Andrew.
That's right, Lori. Calvin, there are a significant number of protesters. This goes back all the way to the AAA. But if I can have photojournalist Nick Lupo turn around, you can see it appears right now as we speak live that they are attempting to block the MacArthur Causeway. They went right next to the Perez Art Museum, went up the entrance ramp to the MacArthur Causeway, and they have now started blocking traffic. There's a state trooper that just showed up a short time ago who is trying to catch up to these guys. You can see traffic is at a complete standstill. If you take a look right down there, a lot of protesters are holding, the gay flag, are holding signs talking about immigration. A number of different issues. We've seen signs about Black Lives Matter. A number of different issues being represented out here. People
and Andrew, were police not ready?
Not necessarily.
Were police not ready for these protesters?
What happened was police weren't, it doesn't appear that they were expecting this to spill out onto the causeway. I've only seen, in my time here, and again, this is just from my vantage point, we've been walking up and down the streets. I haven't seen a state trooper. Well, we've seen one state trooper that just pulled up. We've seen a few Miami police cars. We have seen earlier when this crowd was starting to grow at Bayfront Park that the chopper was flying around in the air trying to get a better look at what's been going on. We're trying to catch up with the public information officer for Miami, who is out here to kind of get what their plan of attack is, because now they have to figure out how long is this going to go on? Are they going to allow it to go on?
Well, Andrew,
that's something we're trying to see right now. Again, this is not the only protest that we have seen today. We had another protest at the campus of the University of Miami as well, just a couple of hours ago. This movement is a movement that was really created on Facebook more than anything. And from what many people out here have told me, including police, it kind of took on a life of its own. People started sharing the post. People started trying to encourage other friends to go. And before you knew it, you had, I think the last count was 2.7 thousand Facebook followers that said, yes, I do plan to attend. Many more that said maybe, they're not sure. Here we are on a Friday night at the MacArthur Causeway right near Biscayne Boulevard, and you can see traffic is at a total standstill. The signs that I'm seeing out here, love trumps hate, gays against wall. There are some profane signs out here as well. Again, protesters, some of them telling me that it's not that they're necessarily trying to undo the system and cause this giant revolt, but they wanted to make sure that the world knew that they don't oppose that kind of talk, that they don't like the way that Trump behaves, some of the policies that he has the first 100 days in office. Right now, I'm seeing the crowd starting to actually walk down the MacArthur. So both sides of the MacArthur Causeway blocked off right now by protesters, and it appears at this point that they are now heading toward Port Miami, toward the tunnel. I'm trying to
And Andrew, we want to warn parents at dinner time here. Andrew, we just want to warn parents at dinner time. Some of these signs have some words that may not be appropriate for children, so just keep an eye there if your children are watching tonight. But this is an important story we want to bring you. And again, we are not inflaming this situation in any way. And fortunately, it has remained a peaceful protest that has grown on Facebook. But this has moved now from Bayfront Park toward the American Airlines Arena, now onto the MacArthur Causeway, really shutting down traffic. We see Arsenella Sabovic. She is also on the scene there. So we have two reporters there to try to capture this for you, this movement that has made its way now to Miami.
And what appears to be sort of a, not to use the word attack, but it appears to be this is a surprise protest for police, because to be able to shut down these two major roads here at this hour is really a big deal for police officers, and probably something that they are sort of allowing to happen because it is a peaceful protest. But again, this is something that I'm sure some of the folks who are driving home do not like at all. But these folks are practicing their First Amendment right, and they are out there, and they are going to be out here, it looks like, for a while, with their signs and chanting and all that. And Andrew, if you can, are you able to grab a protester to talk with us about why they're out there and what are some of the reasons they are protesting tonight? Okay, so we're going to try to check back in with Andrew in just a moment, just as soon as we can get connected to him. But you can see a picture here from our traffic camera. That's a look at the MacArthur Causeway that is now shut down as a result of this anti-Trump protest. So far peaceful, taking place here and blocking traffic and a major road there, the MacArthur Causeway, and like you talked about, Lori, Biscayne Boulevard.
Police themselves are kind of blocking the roadway there, trying to help guide these protesters, but now they are jumping over to the other side of the MacArthur Causeway. It appears definitely trying to stop traffic in both directions to make their point heard. It is a Friday night, a very, very busy night, no doubt. A lot of people all the way back toward the beach have no idea why they are so backed up. But we do want to stay with these live pictures until this situation resolves and you have a better idea of how you're going to get around tonight. And
not that long ago, Laura, you mentioned the word organic. This is an organic protest that has not only taken place here, but is also happening all around the country. We saw this happening in Portland, Oregon. This is day 3 for protests in Oakland, California, as well as New York City today. And right now we're rejoined by our Andrew Perez. You can see a picture of him here walking with the protesters. And Andrew, if you can you grab a protester and ask him or her why they are out here tonight?
Absolutely. Sir, do you mind if I talk to you really quick? I prefer not. Thank you. It's been hit or miss. We have spoken to a few protesters who said that they're really out here because they just want to make sure that the world knows that they don't agree with a lot of the views more than anything. I'm going to try to talk to some of them. What I can say is that so far this has been a relatively peaceful protest. We haven't seen anything violent going on, but I mean, look at this. This is the MacArthur Causeway. This is a major roadway and both sides impacted here. People actually walking toward Miami Beach right now from the MacArthur Causeway toward the Port Tunnel. It's unclear where they're going to go. It's unclear at what point they're going to stop and turn around. But they're kind of going with the flow at this point.
Andrew, the troopers actually have blocked traffic, and as we look at our traffic camera, the troopers are trying to allow these protesters to have their march. Let's listen.
I think to show that we care.
Well, what do you mean by that? What is it that you're expecting to change here?
Politics, human rights trump politics, okay? And I think what people don't understand is the Electoral College, which votes on December 19th, was created expressly for the purpose of an election like this, where you have somebody who is threatening basic human rights. That's what it was set up for. That's why it's not a direct vote for people to elect the president. That's why there is this middle ground, and people need to understand this is the exact reason this is set up for. And at this point, we need to come out and make it aware that this is unacceptable, and it's not a political issue of I disagree with you, your politics, your economics. So there are some basic human rights that are at stake here: women's rights, immigration, etc., that need to be protected in this case, and that's why we're here.
Happened in the past 2 days.
Just a quick question. So what is it, though, that you are expecting to accomplish by being out here? By
raising awareness and letting the Electoral College know, I think that there are a lot of people across the country that are unhappy with what's gone on, and that they should vote their conscience on December 19th and do the right thing and protect basic human rights for all people across the country.
And I also think when Bush won, people didn't protest like this, and that was a very contested election, and it's just showing that this election is far more significant than the problem that happened in 2000 with President Bush.
Thank you so much. Again, we've been seeing this every so often. The crowd will march, the crowd will go, and then they will stop at some point, and they will chant, and they will do some kind of a sit-in, or they will come up with a new chant. Right now we see that the chopper is circling the sky, so I'm trying to get in touch with my law enforcement sources right now to see exactly what's been going on. We're going to continue marching. We're going to keep this picture going. But as soon as anything else happens, we'll have it for you here on Local 10.
And Andrew, if we can drill down on what they just talked about, and it's something that has not only come across on social media, but Lori, this is something that people are talking about. There is a real feeling out there that on December 19th, that when the delegates from the Electoral College come together, that somehow because Hillary Clinton won the popular vote and Donald Trump won more votes from each state, won more electoral votes from each state, there's a feeling that Hillary Clinton will in fact win the presidency, because delegates from the Electoral College will feel like we need to vote their conscience, need to do the right thing. But that is not going to happen. It has never happened in history, and it's not going to happen this time around on December 19th. So that is the feeling not only with the young people out there, but this is a popular statement all across social media. But again, it's a myth. It's not going to happen.
And that's why they mentioned December 19th. And that is why so many people have gathered in several different cities. So far, as in Portland last night, only a handful of these protests have turned a bit violent or have started fires and other such things. So far, everything in Miami has been very peaceful. We did see a small gathering in Coral Gables tonight at UM. Some of those people may be part of this crowd now, having moved over to downtown Miami. But this has just grown by word of mouth on Facebook. A lot of young people we see out here, a lot of signs referring to very different topics. Right now, this group is still, let's see how far they end up moving across MacArthur Causeway.
And the headline tonight, though, here is that this has really shut down the MacArthur Causeway in both directions as they are heading towards the port tunnel. And you can see there, cars are stuck, basically going nowhere fast on the MacArthur Causeway as these protesters are out there with their signs and chanting all sorts of things, but mainly they want the fact that the Electoral College to overturn the election day results, which is the fact that we now have President-elect Donald Trump. They feel like there is something unfair about that, but the process and democracy worked on Tuesday.
The traffic you see at the top of your screen there, that is the traffic coming into downtown. These protesters are mostly on the eastbound side, heading toward the beach. So troopers have actually blocked the roadway so that these protesters will remain safe. And right now they seem to be gathering and stopped in one place, which may help the traffic flow a bit. At least westbound traffic coming off the beach is looking to be moving now.
And Andrew, if we can go back out to you very quickly here for some final thoughts before we have to wrap up our coverage. You have about 30 seconds. Can you give us your final thoughts on this protest tonight?
My final thought so far is that, again, this does seem like a peaceful movement so far. It is a huge traffic headache, I can tell you that much. And if you look right over here to the left, you can see more state troopers have shown up, and they are officially blocking the cars. They want to make sure to keep some space between motorists and protesters. People out here are just wanting to make sure that they get their message out, that they don't support Donald Trump, and that's something that we are likely going to see for a couple of days, according to people who have come out and have been attending various protests. We had one, like I mentioned earlier today, at the University of Miami campus, but here we are. They've stopped here on the MacArthur Causeway right at the very beginning. It's unclear where they are going to go next, but we will, of course, follow it and keep you posted.
Okay, and I believe there is a march also expected in West Palm Beach tomorrow with young people as well. That, too, as a result of Facebook, people getting the word out to join them in West Palm Beach tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Meantime, the president-elect, for him, business moves on. He already named his transition team. Some of the members today, he tweeted out to people calling for unity, saying that he will bring this country together. We are watching this scene for you tonight in Miami. We have two crews live on the scene to bring you full coverage at 11 and as needed throughout this evening.